Hello there. Tonight I have something a little bit different for you. I have with me a collection of 2-sentence horror stories that I will be narrating for you. I hope you enjoy. I woke up to hear knocking on the glass. At first, I thought it was just the window, until I heard it come from the mirror again. The last thing I saw was my alarm clock flashing 12:07 before she pushed her long, rotting nails through my chest, her other hand muffling my screams. I bolted upright, relieved it was only a dream. But as I saw my alarm clock read 12:06, I heard my closet door creak open. Growing up with cats and dogs, I got used to the sounds of scratching at my door while I slept. Now that I live alone, it's much more unsettling. In all of the time that I've lived alone in this house, I swear to God I've closed more doors than I've opened. A girl heard her mom yell her name from downstairs, so she got up and started to head down. As she got to the stairs, her mom pulled her into her room and said, "I heard that too." She asked why I was breathing so heavily. I wasn't. My wife woke me up last night to tell me there was an intruder in our house. She was murdered by an intruder 2 years ago. I awoke to the sound of the baby monitor crackling with a voice comforting my firstborn child. As I adjusted to a new position, my arm brushed against my wife, sleeping next to me. I always thought my cat had a staring problem. She always seems fixated on my face. Until one day, when I realized that she was always looking just behind me. There is nothing like a child's laughter, until it's 1 a.m. and you're home alone. I was having a pleasant dream when what sounded like hammering woke me. After that, I could barely hear the muffled sounds of dirt covering the coffin over my own screams. "I can't sleep," she whispered, crawling into bed with me. I woke up cold, clutching the dress she was buried in. I began tucking him into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under the bed." I look underneath for his amusement, and see him, another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed." You get home, tired after a long day's work, and ready for a relaxing night alone. You reach for the light switch, but another hand is already there. I can't move, breathe, speak, or hear, and it's so dark all the time. If I knew it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead. She went upstairs to check on her sleeping toddler. The window was open, and the bed was empty. Don't be scared of the monsters, just look for them. Look to your left, to your right, under your bed, behind your dresser, in your closet, but never look up. She hates being seen. My daughter won't stop crying and screaming in the middle of the night. I visit her grave and ask her to stop, but it doesn't help. After working a hard day, I came home to see my girlfriend cradling our child. I didn't know which was more frightening, seeing my dead girlfriend and stillborn child, or knowing that someone broke into my apartment to place them there. There was a picture in my phone of me sleeping. I live alone. It wasn't the strange, dark room that he woke up in which scared him, but rather the large, blood-soaked cage which lay open on the floor. No matter how many times she had that foul, demonic thing inside her aborted, it always came back in the end. Another text message. Death comes at 6:30. The bedside clock read 6:29, and a cold, painful sensation began to pulsate through his veins. A door which was not there before now stands in my hall. The other night, something stirred behind it. Dear God, I just heard it open. What she didn't know was that the man who was taking her and her children on a camping trip was not her husband. It just looked like him. Clothes from the closet were scattered on the floor daily. He thought it was the kids before realizing that something needed the space. She woke up in darkness. The cold metallic walls began to grow hot. The reality of the horror presented itself. She was in an oven. The memory was clouded and confused. Either he had killed the boy that night or saved him. The answer would define who he was forever. The kids were unsure where the hole in the ground led, but the echoed noise of a music box emanated from below, as if inviting them inside. Supposedly, anyone who sat in the chair would die, but she accepted the dare, as she was sure it was nonsense. Seated, the world grew colder. To be in someone else's shoes was one thing, but to wake up inside another's coffin wearing their clothes was a different event altogether. He woke up to the sound of his wife cooking breakfast in the kitchen. The only problem was that he had murdered her the day before.